How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing a slightly different video to usual. Obviously usual we do some sort of Rocket League video, but today we are predicting the World Cup 2022. Of course, it only starts in a couple of months, so it makes perfect sense. Apologies for not uploading lately. I've been a little bit too busy. I haven't had the time to actually get onto the editor and things like that, but we're back and we are now going to predict the World Cup 22. Who do you think's gonna win? Leave it in the comments below. Right, let's see. Group A. Netherlands has got to top that group, really. I mean, Senegal have got a couple of good players. You've got fucking Koulibaly, Mane. Who else have they got? I'm not sure who else they got apart from that, though. Really, got a lot of, but they have got some good talent in there. Ecuador. Used to be a pretty good side, so the fact they're back in the World Cup is well played, but I actually have no clue who plays for them anymore. I used to follow football a lot, but not too much anymore, but Ecuador, don't really see them getting too far. Qatar, obviously, the host of the World Cup, that's the only reason they're in there. They never qualify normally by themselves. Got to come last in the group, really. Senegal to come second, and as you see, the way this one works is you just click who goes through, and then the others are out. Group B, Iran. Most likely going to finish last in this group. I mean, they are in the World Cup usually, to be fair. Last two World Cups anyway they've been in. But not really got many players of note. Not really got too much talent. Not bad side though. Obviously in the whole Asian continent, they're not exactly a bad side. But in terms of world football, they're not really going to get far. So I'd say they go last. America, they've actually got a few decent players these days. They've got Pulisic, Des, I think plays for them. They've got, who's a striker now? They've got some striker, but I can't remember who he plays for. They've also got a couple of players playing for Arsenal at the moment. We've got quite a few players all over the place that are actually pretty decent, but I do think they'll come third. Of course, England and Wales, both British sides, both big footballing sides compared to America. But the thing is, England have lost the last 5 games. I don't see them beating Germany either. Which is obviously our next game. And I just don't see us topping the group. I think Wales are actually going to top the group. Wales have been very good. Got through, obviously, on the playoffs. I've been doing much better than England have in the Nations League. Despite, I mean, yeah, you could argue we have a slightly tougher group, but they still have Netherlands, who've been on the top of their game and have got a very good young squad, and Belgium, so I've got a good squad, but an experienced squad. So it's more like when it's Netherlands versus Belgium, it's more of a youth, a young versus experienced sort of game. But that's what we're doing. But yeah, so England comes second. Group C, let's see. Argentina's got to top that group, really. I mean, you know, they've got a lot of good players these days. Emiliano Martinez in the goal, of course, fantastic for Aston Villa. Lisandro Martinez and Romero, solid centre-back, should, you know, just dominate, keep a lot out, stop many attacks going through. Tagliafico, a very good player. Of course, coming from Ajax, now plays for Lyon. I think he's actually a really good player in my opinion. And they do have... No, who is it now? Not Renan Lodi. They have the guy who plays for Sevilla, Aguirre or something? I don't know. The other player who plays for Sevilla, who's also... Acuna, that's it. And he's also there. So he's probably going to play as their right back, or maybe as Tagliafico. Well, we don't know too much yet. But Argentina to top the group. The second place is a bit of a difficult one. Of course, Poland, very decent these days. Still got Lewandowski. Don't think Piszczek plays for them anymore. Błaszczykowski. But you have got a few good players. Of course, got Milik. Got a couple other good players. But like I said, I really don't pay attention to football too much anymore. Mexico. Does Javier Hernandez still play for him? Well, I'm not too sure. I mean, they're coming from North America. One of the easier qualifying routes. No offense, of course. But one of the easier qualifying routes. But they are a good team usually. Big football side. And they're usually pretty good. And I actually do think they are going to edge out Poland here on goal difference. I think they're going to draw. But I think Mexico will get a bigger result against Saudi Arabia, who are, of course, I'm predicting to come last. But to be fair, Saudi Arabia have actually had a bit of an emergence recently. They've been much better than they usually are. Group D. France is going to win it. I mean, to be fair, they have been pretty poor lately, so Denmark could actually surprise us. But realistically, with the quality France have, you wouldn't expect them to do pretty poorly. Of course, you have Mbappe, Kimpembe in defence. They can always choose who they want in that other defence, whether that's Upamecano. I'm thinking, who else plays them right now? I'm not too sure. They've got Theo Hernandez at left back. Midfield's pretty solid as well. You know, Paul Pogba in there. Fuck. Why do I not know any of the teams these days? I don't know where anyone comes from anymore. I know I can give you good players, but I don't know where they come from. But yeah, I do think France is still good at top that group. Denmark to come second. It's a bit of a no-brainer really out of them three. Tunisia, don't really rate them to be honest. They aren't a bad side though, in fairness. You've got some footballing talent. Not any from the leagues that I would know though, unfortunately. But they aren't a bad side usually. But I do actually think Australia is gonna give us a bit to think about here. I don't know why. I just have a feeling that they're gonna come third in the group. So yeah, first four groups, and that's where I think everyone's gonna go. All right, Group E. Now this one's a very tough one. Group E, of course, Spain should go with De Gea this year. De Gea has been very good for Manchester United, so he deserves a call up. So good goalkeeping, shot stopper, of course. Though he may not play if they go for a tiki-taka sort of distribution side, because he's not the greatest distribution. But you've got to really have De Gea in there for a World Cup. Centre backs these days, they've got Llorente. Not Marcus Llorente, is a different Llorente. And Pau Torres, actually not a bad centre back partnership really. Who've they got on the left and the right now? Not too sure, but maybe it's a left and right back. I don't actually fucking know. How do I not know any of this? I literally researched it before. But I've watched the charity match since then, and I've forgotten everything. But no, yeah, it's a very good side in overall. Germany, of course. Who've they got? They've still got Mats Hummels. They've got Sula to pick from. They've got a lot of good centre backs. I think they're actually playing a free back at the moment. Oh no, I don't know. I think they're playing a free back, but it might be a 4-5-1 with 2 CDMs and 3 like attacking midfielders. Though obviously right wing, right mid, left mid. Of course, Sane, Gnabry, Muller. Who's in front for them? I don't actually know their striker. I'm not sure who their striker is. That's their only thing. I don't actually know who their striker is. And it's kind of clouded my judgment. But ultimately, I think Germany's got a lot of young talent these days. Well, they're not really young anymore, actually. But they're still, like, good talent. Spain, a bit of a fading force in Europe compared to their old days. They're not bad, but I don't think they're going to have the quality to see off Germany here. But they will come second. I mean, Japan may be in with a shout for third, but I don't think they're going to threaten either of these two sides. And that's Costa Rica, really. Group F, Croatia could threaten Belgium, but ultimately, like I said before, Belgium, very good side recently, a lot of experience, got to top that group really. Croatia, gonna beat Canada. Morocco may give them a bit of a shout, but they've still got Luka Modric, they've still got Perisic to choose from. They've got a few good centre backs, of course, Orsic. Is he even Croatian? I think he's Croatian. Very good against English sides. Of course, there is no English sides in here. But he'll definitely be within a shout. Got to put him in second there. And then Morocco and Canada. Morocco will beat Canada. I don't think Canada's going to get a point. They may get a goal, but I don't think they're going to get a point, to be honest. But yeah, first and second goes to Belgium and Croatia. Group G. Now, Brazil is easily going to top that group. I expect them to win all 3 games. You know, they've got a very good side at the moment. Got Renan Lodi in defence as their left back, of course, matched with Marquinhos and maybe Thiago Silva or Gabriel, depending on who they pick. Of course, Arsenal top of the table right now, so that may shift it towards Gabriel. Alisson and Edison as their goalkeepers. No, Edison's not been the greatest at shot stopping in recent times, but still very good for distribution, and ultimately that's what you're going to want in an attacking side such as this, where you've got Gabriel Jesus, who should start, considering he's moved away from the City, which kind of just shows the quality of City really. Excuse the top, but it kind of does show the quality of City that he moves away and instantly is fucking starting for Arsenal, scoring a lot of the time. Expecting them to have Neymar maybe on the left, and then on the right they have Vinicius Jr. or vice versa, because even though, you know, they do also have Anthony, they do have Rodrigo, you can't leave out Neymar or Vinicius Jr. unless they play Neymar in cam and then have maybe Rodrigo or Anthony on the right. But apart from that, yeah, I can't see that happening. The rest of Group G though is all fair game. It's really tough to predict. If you was gonna go for a side though, you'd go for Switzerland, and that's who I'm gonna go for. But Serbia, they've got of course Kostic, got that striker as well who played for Real Madrid. I don't know if he still does, and I don't remember his name, but I know I'm thinking about Cameroon. I actually don't know he plays for Cameroon anymore. Who even fucking does? I think Matic plays for him, doesn't he? Or is it? I think so. But apart from that, I don't really know who plays for Cameroon ultimately, and I don't think they're going to get through anyway. I've got Senegal going through. And then Group H, you know, Portugal's going to win that one. Uruguay, they've still got Darwin Núñez. They can call on Luis Suarez. Is Edinson Cavani retired? I'm not even sure. No, I think he still plays for Manchester United, actually. What am I on about? But I think South Korea, they've still got Hwang Hee-jo, Heung-min Son, a couple of decent centre-backs. I think Korea are going to get second, but I think it's going to be Portugal and Korea. But with that, that is my predictions. Let's move on to the round of 16. That's where we have it. That is my predictions for the World Cup group stage. Obviously, you can see there's some that maybe you might not agree with, some you might agree with, but with that, we are going to move on to the round of 16, like I said. Make sure to leave into the comments if you agree with the group stage, and with that, let's move on to the next round. We start off with a big one, Netherlands and England. Of course, Netherlands my home country, England the country I live in at the moment, of course, for the last 18 years. But England lost the last 5. Like I said already, I don't expect them to win against Germany either. Playing Iran and USA, I think they'll win both of them. It will give them some help, but I don't see us getting past Netherlands. Not only have Netherlands got, you know, some world-class players, like I said before, they've got a young squad, but they still got world-class players like Van Dijk, Wijnaldum, and then there's got a lot of young talent like Gravenberch, De Ligt. Who have they been playing recently? They haven't been playing De Ligt recently. They've been playing someone else, and I can't remember. They don't even play De Vrij either. They have Gakpo, of course. A couple of decent strikers. I expect them to see us off really. Wales v Senegal. Senegal, like I said, they've got Mane, Koulibaly, got a couple of decent players in there. Wales have got a fade in Gareth Bale, Aaron Ramsey maybe. Not sure who else they got. They got Dan James, who's still pretty young, to be fair, I think. So might cause some issues. I originally, when I did a tester of this beforehand, I said that Wales is going to win, but I think I'm actually going to change my mind on that one. Let's see. Germany, Croatia. Well, like I said before, Germany's got a lot of talent these days. I fully expect them to see off Croatia here. And then Belgium v Spain. Now, originally I had Spain win the group, but I've gone back on that. I don't think they will. And I think Belgium should win there. Like I said before, Spain have got some very solid players. They do have Ferran Torres. They have Marcos Llorente. Got a couple good left wingers as well. Got a good team all round, but I don't see them beating Belgium here. Because, of course, Spain have also got quite a young side. There's a lot of young sides this year, actually, thinking about it. But I think the experience is going to win them out. Argentina, of course, you know exactly the quality of Argentina's sides. Have been listed off the defense mostly, but I see them beating Denmark quite comfortably, maybe 2-0. Of course, you know, they have Messi, they have Dybala, they have Alvarez. They've got a lot of attacking talent. And I think the way they're going to end up having to play is maybe Messi on the right, on the left, they have Alvarez, striker Lautaro Martinez, and then in cam, we have good Dybala. France versus Mexico. Mexico maybe a bit of a dark horse. I don't see any shocks happening this year, by the way, if you're wondering why I've not picked any shocks. I'm like, oh, this will be a shock. But no, there's not going to be any shocks this year. France going to beat Mexico quite comfortably. Kylian Mbappe to score. Paul Pogba to get an assist. And yeah, moving forwards, we have Brazil versus South Korea. Brazil should win that again really easily. And then Portugal v Switzerland, probably the biggest game of the whole lot. But I think Ronaldo, not just Ronaldo, but Portugal's talent will see him off. I mean, they've got Ruben Diaz, of course, Cancelo, Bernardo Silva, couple of other good players like João Felix, of course, as well. I do see them seeing off Switzerland. And if we move to the quarterfinals now, we have a few more games. Netherlands v Argentina. I think Argentina's going to win. They've got a much more solid defense now than in recent times. I don't think Otamendi and... Who was the other one that played for him? Otamendi, and I don't remember who else it was who played for them, but then they weren't very good. It wasn't very good defensively. But now they do have, of course, Romero and... Who else is the other? Romero and Lisandro Martinez. So I think the defense will be able to help see off Netherlands here. Will still be tight, of course, but with the attacking talent as well, I don't see Netherlands getting through. Senegal, I think the main weakness though with Argentina has got to be the midfielders, the centre midfielders. I mean, they've got Paredes, they've got a couple other players, but don't see them having much midfield talent. So it's all going to be on how well the attack works. Maybe they drop Messi to a cam. We don't know. Senegal v France. The battle of the French-speaking countries. France is going to win that one. Senegal, of course, doing quite well, but to get to the quarterfinals, that's my prediction. But I really don't think they're going to be able to see off France here. France, just too much quality for them. Defense, attack, midfield, all of it just good enough, and that's done there. Germany, Brazil. Now that's actually an interesting one. Germany, of course, they've got the likes of Leroy Sané, Thomas Muller, a very underrated player. Everyone doesn't rate him because of the fact he's slow on FIFA, but still a very good player ultimately. They've got Gnabry. Still don't know who their striker is. They've got some good midfielders. You know, they've got Goretzka, Kimmich. Actually, is Goretzka injured? I think Goretzka's injured at the moment, isn't he? I'm not too sure. Might be injured for the World Cup. But if not, then, you know, Goretzka, Kimmich, good midfield. Centre-backs, like I said before, pretty good. They've got Raum on the left. On the right is the Hoffenheim right. No, he's not. It's called Hoffman. I'm not too sure who he plays for. I thought he played for Hoffenheim, but he doesn't. But, you know, decent right back. Left back, of course, Raum, like I said before. Moved to Leipzig recently. But I don't see them beating Brazil. You know, Brazil got decent midfield. They've got Lucas Paqueta, Casemiro, Fabinho, Lucas Paqueta, Bruno Guimaraes. Of course, good attack, good defense. I think Brazil's going to win the whole thing this year. And Belgium versus Portugal. I think we're going to see a shock. I would usually... I reckon most people would say Belgium win that game. I have a feeling Portugal's going to go through. We're going to see both Messi and Ronaldo in the final. Not in the final. In the semi-finals. But this is where Messi's story ends, and I have a feeling he's probably going to retire. We won't see him in another World Cup. This is his last one, and I just think Brazil's quality this year is just going to help them see off Argentina. Of course, there could still be an injury. You know, Marquinhos could get injured. A couple of the midfielders could get injured, and it could cause some problems for Brazil. But I think Brazil win this with their current squad and with the current injuries they have, which is none of crucial status. And then the other game, Portugal v France. France have been poor in the Nations League, pretty much going to get relegated. They've not been very good recently, and I do think Portugal are actually going to see them off. Portugal will give themselves a very good campaign, but in the battle of the Portuguese-speaking countries, Brazil are going to win the final. So in other words, Brazil is the World Cup winner. And with that, thank you all for watching. See you guys next time, and peace.